Big Knob State Forest Campground is located in Michigan's Upper Peninsula in Gould City. The campground is about 13 miles southwest of Naubinway. After turning off US 2 onto Big Knob Road, you head down the road about 6 miles. The road is more like two-track and seems like it's quite a bit further of a drive, but you will eventually dead end at the campground parking area where you have the opportunity to hike a few different pathways, all of which are pretty short and under 2 miles long. Heading into the campground away from the recreation area, you find your typical campground billboard that has the information that is required for camping. The campground cost is $20 per night, and there are 23 available sites to camp in. I visited the campground in the off-season, and there was actually nobody here camping. It was a perfect, quiet little campground at this time. I had my choice of every single campsite here, so we're going to check out several of them since I have the opportunity. As I head through the campground here, you'll notice that most of these campsites are fairly large, plenty big enough to fit campers, small trailers, and small RVs into. There's enough space in each one of these sites to fit multiple tents. Most of the sites have a handicap accessible picnic table that has an overextension for a wheelchair to pull up to. You'll also notice that there is a fire ring at every campsite, and almost every single one of the campsites is plenty shaded by multiple trees. The campground offers 2 vault toilets that were fairly well maintained, and you couldn't smell them from nearby campsites, so that's always a bonus. And each campsite was fairly dry with a nice bed of pine needles instead of mud or gravel. You can see here by checking out these sites that they are very well maintained and surrounded by small trees and larger red pines. It looks like somebody really takes the time here to check and maintain and mow the campground area. While I was here in September, there were still no mosquitoes, no biting flies. I did not have any issues with insects. There is only a small breeze coming off of the lake. As we move our way through the campground, we get closer to the lake. Only a couple of these sites actually back up to the lake and give you a small footpath that goes down to the water. But there is beach access up here as you hit the end of the campground. I'm going to check out the last couple of sites right here, and then I'm going to head down to the beach, which would really be the highlight of this campground and why more people would choose to stay here than several other campgrounds in the area. Here we are heading down the path to the beach. Little grown up with weeds, but it's what you would expect for a sandy, duny area. And there's almost absolutely nobody down here right now. It's not a ridiculous warm day, but I still expected to see more than just one kayak and one person hanging out down here. I really expected to see several beachcombers. Of course, it is a sandy beach. This is not a rocky beach, so a lot of the rock hounds are not out in this area. I decided, since it wasn't ridiculously windy, to set the drone up in the sky, and we are going to pan over the entire beach and campground area, and then I'm going to just go ahead and turn right out over the lake so we have a view of the entire area from up here. Look at how neat that water looks. As you're up in the air like this, you can just see out forever as you're looking out there. Not a single ship. There's absolutely nothing except sky and blue water. And you can see a few sand reefs out there that you wouldn't notice from the ground level. Overall, I really like this campground, and I would absolutely stay if I had the opportunity and the time.